Namaskar, good morning everybody, whichever part of the world you are in. I'm at a very interesting place today and we are going to engage in a conversation on how will it be we can add passion to our gig, alright? So point number one, do amazing things happen around you or are you quick to notice it? That's point number one. The other part I really want us to get is, when we see something amazing happening around us, what do we make of it? Are we going to relegate it to be another day at work, or are we going to create something interesting out of it? So I feel extremely blessed that I meet amazing people in my life. You know, each day in my life I meet some extraordinary people, and extraordinary people allow themselves to shape up and show up in my life. So yesterday I came across this very interesting cafe, not far from where I live. It's called the Sidewalk Cafe, and you will get to see it. I'll bring it closer at some point. And at the Sidewalk Cafe, what I felt was, not just was it a business which is trying to come back into action post the lockdown, because they started right before the lockdown. But what I saw here is people who are not just wanting to do business, but wanting to express their life. All right, so I'm going to invite two people who run this entire place, and we will have a conversation. So I have the pleasure of inviting Khushboo. Please, aye. So we'll just be a little closer because we are trying to do it in a different way. We'll be a little louder.
Yes, definitely.
Khushboo, स्वागत है आपका.
Hi.
स्वागत है. So superb. So I walked into Khushboo's this place, the Sidewalk Cafe, yesterday. And what struck me was this entire place was in a zone.
Oh.
So it's like a zone. It's like it's not just a coffee shop. What is your thought behind this?
So I've been an artist, an actor for last 10 years.
Okay. All right.
And I was always in search of a place where my creativity is at peak. Or maybe I can think better. I just over a cup of coffee, maybe I just need some cool and calm place where I can think something new, something better. So I was in the search of that place, and I just thought, why not make it myself?
Got it.
So here I am in this place.
So what's interesting in what Khushboo is speaking about and is that a whole lot of us want certain things in our life. Okay, want life to be in a particular way. What enthuses me about life is that life can happen in two ways. Life can all happen when it happens. So let's wait for it to happen. Or we go about creating it. Go about actually be involved in the manufacture of the kind of life.
Right.
In a really kind of creating it. And one thing for that, Khushboo, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. How important is it to not consider it just a job, not consider it just a business? How important is that?
So the first thought behind this Sidewalk Cafe was to make a place for people where they can come, sit, enjoy coffee and do things. But now this pandemic has taught us so much that I feel it is not only a job or a business, but we can say something, a purpose of life kind of a thing. So it is not only a workplace for me anymore. It is all about giving something to people, maybe just adding one little extra thing in their lives every day.
Yeah. Now that's very, very interestingly put. Okay, and for a young adult to speak about it, finding more to business, finding it more like a purpose of your life. So just to share with you, for me also, this lockdown has, a whole lot of things I wanted to do in my life, and I had been postponing.
Right.
And I realized that I'm going to play full out, because even though the pandemic and whatever the news about it and talks about it, not very inspiring. But for me, I chose to take leaps which I wish to take.
Wow.
So do you see yourself having done something like that where I believe when did you first open this?
February 2nd.
February 2nd. And when did the news come?
19th March we had to shut. So 14th March it started, malls and all other things were closing down. 19th March we had to close. And then 22nd March the Janata Curfew and all. Everything was shut.
So what did you say to yourself when this close down was announced, the lockdown was announced?
So the first thought which I got, I was very happy that I'll get a big chutti after so many months, because I was tired working for the last 5 months, you can say. I was working from last year 2019 October November. I was so happy that चलो थोड़ी सी छुट्टी मिल जाएगी और घर पे टाइम बिताएंगे, रिलैक्स करेंगे. But छुट्टी बढ़ती गई पर खर्चे खत्म नहीं हो रहे. तो तब it was not a dream kind of a thought. Reality check it was. Now what? You are like middle of the.
Sure. And you are invested. You are invested.
So much.
Yes.
समुद्र के बीच में खड़े हैं. किनारे पे जा सकते हैं, अंदर जा सकते हैं.
So now that is the interesting part for me, and I have always felt that when you are invested in anything, not just in terms of monies but also in terms of commitment, something happens to you. Something happens to you that you bring out something from within you, where you actually. So I was watching this film years back, a film called Kumar Mukhtar, and then they said that they used to tie their feet so that they can't run away, right? And for me, it's that the human beingness in each one of us becomes so much larger when we are so invested that the way out is through this.
Right. Absolutely nice.
Yeah. So for you, Khushboo, when you said that, look, I want to play business in a different way, as you said, it's probably become closer to your life. I'm going to add something to somebody else's life. How did the day start looking different? Because I'm sure business has not yet picked up, the way you wanted it to.
Right. If I think about it right now, I feel the cafe culture I was in love with was not the same anymore once I was in there.
Got it.
So I always loved having coffee, going to cafes.
But now you are serving and making sure that others
are
experience.
happy. So I just rechecked with myself, do I really wanted to do this? Did I really want this from life? And I was not sure with an answer as yes. Suddenly I started liking chai and home. So things were changing from my perspective. But धीरे when it is always important also as an artist, सामने वाला जो तारीफ कर रहा है, तालियां means a lot, right? So that started happening, and then I realized that where I am at the right place. I am doing something which I wanted from years, and now I'm actually in there.
Okay, so what Khushboo is talking about is one phenomenon. Tell me, Khushboo, if that's what you are speaking about. So, for example, when you become an actor, you do it for yourself, right? You become an actor for yourself. I love to act. I want to do it. Okay? I want to do it for my fulfillment. And then when you become a professional actor, something changes. Right? Now you're not just doing it for yourself, not doing it when you want to do it. Okay? It's now for something. You are to now do it for a script, for a director, for a producer, for an audience. So it's not that man kiya to karu, nahi to nahi kiya. So I think what she is sharing, what she's talking about is that from somebody who's been interested, I just love cafes, I just love coffee, to now I'm serving and I'm making sure that others experience that. So from being a consumer, you truly became a creator who's creating what people want.
Absolutely, very well put.
Yeah.
Very well put.
And when you became a creator for others, what are the things that now come into your mind? A, yes, you want to do it, but what else? What is the other thing that comes into play now?
So the feeling which I always had behind it is जो मैं experience कर रही हूँ, and the peace which I find when I be at such place, I want others to experience that, right? So now when I see people doing it and appreciating or maybe giving some feedback over it, I actually feel that maybe this is why I am here
Got it.
on this earth. Maybe.
Now this is very, very inspiring, and I really want us to get this. We all are probably looking for finding purpose, right? As in, when will I find my purpose, right? I have also discovered this, Khushboo, that I am finding my purpose en route. चलते चलते में मुझे मिल रहा है. ऐसा नहीं है कि मुझे दिख गया है and then I am walking into it. Okay, so consider for a moment. Here is an entrepreneur who's really inspired by having a coffee shop, and therefore she begins it. At some point, there's an issue which comes up, and now things are moving. Things have moved outside. Something is moved inside for you, and you are now discovering the value in not just having the experience, but creating the experience for others.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you realize, like yesterday when I came and I said that, wow, I just love the zone. So what did you feel when I said that? I just love the zone.
So me and my sister always talk about this, that it's real, like it's really happening. What we had visualized years back, months back, it's actually happening now. And when you said, or you or any of the guests says that, wow, this is the place, you would like to come back. So that is something which is important more than money.
Wow.
It is not like I am happy the entire day. It is okay.
So this is the most fantastic thing about being a creative creator, is that when the experience that brought you into something, when that magic can happen in people who experience it, that becomes a purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So for me, and at this point, I would like to invite a very interesting person whom I met here. His name is Adhi.
Adhi.
Adhi. Welcome. So Adhi speaks, talks, thinks coffee.
Right.
Alright.
I sleep, eat, drink, and talk about coffee. Life is coffee, basically.
Life is coffee for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have met quite a few people who are interested in coffee, but so much coffee, and it was so interesting just talking to him yesterday. So here is my question to you: what about coffee? What is so unique about coffee?
So I compare a human being's life to coffee. For example, the process of making a cup of coffee goes in with grounded beans mixed with water. But that's all confusion. And then comes the filter paper or the filter. When you press the solution, you get decoction or you get the coffee. So that's life. When you filter out the negativity from your life and you get a perfect cup of coffee, that's life. So basically in life I compare everything where you could release the negativity, release all the bad experiences and only consider the good experiences, the path that basically brings you to life. So that's happiness, that's coffee for me.
Amazing. Nice thought. I never knew that. You look at it that way. Wow.
So that's about it. And the last part is it's not only just a cup of coffee, it's the process of making coffee.
Right.
So, for example, for a lot of people it's just एक चाय या कॉफी कुछ भी दे दो. And for me it's like कि first मैं coffee beans डालूँ फिर ऊपर से पानी डालूँ, कि पहले पानी डालूँ फिर ऊपर से coffee beans डालूँ. And this is the process of learning and teaching. So whatever I learn, I intend to teach and bring education, bring awareness about it to a lot of people. That's about it.
Nice.
So I don't know whether you are getting a sense of madness to this, because I can sense madness. Isn't it? You're like, what a mad guy is talking of coffee this way. And welcome to real life. Real life passion is here. And I want us to really experience this Monday morning, for us to get that बिना madness की क्या है जिंदगी है यार.
Absolutely.
If we are doing some work, if we are doing something which is going, we are earning a living through that, how will it be if we can add that tinge of passion, that tinge of madness to it? And so here is what we're doing. How important is somebody like him in a place like this, which is about creating experience? How important do you think? Today, I got chatting with him because I love conversations of madness. Okay? There's a bit of you which is slightly mad. Ask my wife. But having said that, how important do you think a phenomena like जिसको कहते हैं तड़का of madness is in your scheme of things?
So when it is about mad people, crazy people about something, you cannot search them.
Yeah.
They search you. They find you. The same thing has happened with Adhi actually. So when something happens, the thing does not need to find human beings. Actually, the thing attracts you. It's all about that one energy ball which is in there and it is attracting people. So it's always about that, and I never.
I feel
Hi.
Yeah.
So I never search for mad people.
Yeah.
Mad people search
That's mad
another mad people. Yeah, other mad people.
Yeah, and that's something which really kind of resonates with me. For us to get that, can we be asking for the special? Madness for me is, and if I may just sharing this with you. For years, there are things which happen by logic, all right? So we are taught to logic in life,
Right.
the importance of logic. And somehow I felt in my life, just out of sheer necessity, stuff that I wanted to do, stuff that I really craved for, by logic I should not get it. It doesn't add up. Okay, it doesn't add up. So I discovered as a child also, I used to dream of things. I used to dream of people knowing me, dream of, they'll be clapping, that I will win, I'll create something. So I used to dream of it. There was no logic in it. It was complete magic. An only child reading stories. And through life, I have discovered that I don't care about logic. I really get that magic has no logic. And so even as I'm working on a daily basis, I'm not counting on the logic to take me through. Okay, I value such magical meetings of mine, which are inside of my life. So early morning I was at my physio's because I had hurt my back, a few days back. Logically, I should go to the physio. But the magic of it is when you even meet a very interesting physio. In fact, I'm going to do a show with my very interesting physio. Her name is Shiny. So we'll talk about that later. But the point is, as you said very beautifully, Khushboo, you ask for magic and then magic happens. And
You don't actually ask.
Yeah.
It just comes from your heart. It has to come from heart. Like you cannot ask for it. You ask that you get it in the barter system, right? You always just wish for it, maybe.
beautiful.
Just wish for it, and it's magic happens.
So consider you don't do anything in order to. And when I say ask, I say that I keep sharing with people that I meet extraordinary people. I meet mad, amazing people in my life. Alright? And I don't know whether it's ask or whether I kind of state it out with the word. But what enthralls me is when I can meet people who are across professions. I'll never ever probably get to have a coffee shop on my own. But I have the pleasure of participating in the dream of others. Right? And what I want us all to get that as we celebrate somebody else's passion, as they, it could be a small enterprise like our Sidewalk Cafe here in Malad, or it could be any small thing or big thing somebody is trying out. As we listen to the fulfillment of dreams like this, passionate people, dreams like this, I want us to really get that that is our contribution. I also get contributed to, Adhi, when you dream like this and when you speak like this, you made this beautiful mad example of how coffee and life would be the same thing, completely mad. And I love it. I love the visual that you create. Right? And I think each one of us needs to be inspired by visuals and stories. There's too much truth around us, which is not inspiring. Right? Too many news, too many facts which says that things are not exactly good. But just look at this, this and that. That's sister. That's a sister. And
Hi.
She's helping us put this all together. So for sharing with us your passion and So all of you guys, come over to the Sidewalk Cafe at Malad. Very, very inspiring place. Simple people running it. She's a hotel management graduate and an actor. And he's coffee. Mr. Coffee. Yeah. So wonderful. So as I always feel that thanks to life I get this opportunity to interact with such amazing people. And let's keep discovering amazing people around us, right, and celebrating them. As we celebrate them, we have the courage to celebrate our own uniqueness. So, Amit Barula, बहुत शुक्रिया आप सबका. Good morning, Yamini Shabraman, thank you so much. Shabas, Darar, बहुत शुक्रिया आप सबका. Louis Kalra, thank you so much for sharing. And say goodbye to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, have a great day.
See you. And come down to the Sidewalk Cafe, right? The coffee terms. Cheers everybody. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. Al Shukran Bandhu, Al Shukran Bandhu, Al Shukran Zindagi. Thank you for being here. And let's keep filling passion into our day. Alright, I promise you. Amazing. Cheers. Look forward to my cup of coffee.
Yes.
Can we begin that?
Yes, all set.
So let's just